Welcome to Go Readling Bedtime Stories, presented by GoReadling.com. Personalized education and reading skills for kids. Find a comfortable spot, close your eyes, take a slow, deep breath, and let our story carry you gently off to sleep. Tonight's story is called The Golden Goose. In a cozy little cottage nestled at the edge of a whispering forest lived a kind boy named Pip. Pip had two older brothers, Finn and Gus, who were quite a bit louder and loved to boast about themselves. While Pip found joy in helping around their small home, Finn and Gus often found reasons to grumble and complain about their daily chores. Pip's gentle nature made the cottage feel a little warmer even on the coldest mornings, and his laughter was like a soft melody.
Finn thinks Pip is always skipping off while Finn does all the hard work. Pip needs to pull Pip's weight around here, Finn says.
Gus agrees with Finn. Gus's back is aching from carrying all the water. Pip, when will Pip finish sweeping the floor?
Pip has just finished sweeping, Gus, and Pip would be happy to help Finn carry the water. Pip doesn't mind at all. It makes Pip feel strong.
Pip offered with a bright smile, already heading towards the well bucket. His brothers just watched him go, shaking their heads. Pip's heart was always full of sunshine, no matter how cloudy Finn and Gus seemed to be, and Pip knew that being kind was the best adventure.
Finn supposes Pip can be helpful sometimes, but Finn still thinks Finn does more. Pip just looks busy, that's all.
Every morning, the sun peeked over the hills, casting long shadows across their garden, and every morning, the same dance of chores began. Pip would hum a little tune as he tended to the chickens, gathering fresh eggs warm from the nests. The hens clucked happily around Pip's feet, sensing his gentle touch. Meanwhile, inside the cottage, Finn and Gus would sigh dramatically over their tasks, often trying to convince each other to do more of the work. The small cottage often echoed with their playful squabbles.
Finn, Gus thinks Finn should dust the shelves today. Gus dusted them just last week. Gus is sure of it.
Nonsense, Gus. Finn remembers Finn dusting them for hours. It's Gus's turn. Besides, Finn is busy polishing Finn's boots, which is very important work.
Pip can dust the shelves, Finn and Gus. It won't take Pip long at all. The dust bunnies are quite friendly, Pip thinks.
Pip walked in, carrying a basket overflowing with eggs, his cheeks rosy from the morning air. He saw his brothers bickering and simply picked up the dusting cloth, humming softly. The dust motes danced in the sunlight as Pip cleaned with cheerful efficiency, making the old wooden shelves gleam. The smell of fresh pine needles wafted in through the open window, making the cottage feel fresh and inviting, thanks to Pip.
Well, Pip, if Pip insists. Gus appreciates Pip's help. Gus was just about to start, really.
One crisp afternoon, the woodpile next to the cottage was looking rather small. The fire inside their hearth crackled merrily, but it needed more fuel to keep them warm through the approaching evening. Someone had to venture into the deep forest to chop down some fallen branches. Finn and Gus immediately started finding reasons why they couldn't possibly be the ones to do it. The wind whistled softly, carrying the scent of damp earth and distant wood smoke through the air.
Finn can't go to the forest today. Finn's axe handle feels a bit wobbly, and Finn doesn't want to risk an injury. Finn needs to be in tip-top shape for tomorrow.
And Gus can't go either. Gus has a very important task of counting all the pebbles in the garden to make sure they are accounted for. It's vital work, Gus thinks.
Pip will go. Pip loves the forest. It smells so fresh and green after the rain. Pip will be careful with the axe, Finn, and Pip can count pebbles later with Gus, if Gus likes.
Pip grabbed the trusty, sturdy axe, a small loaf of bread, and a flask of water. He waved goodbye to his brothers, who were already settling into their important tasks. The forest path was winding and dappled with sunlight, and Pip felt a happy skip in his step. The birds sang cheerful songs from the branches above, almost as if they were encouraging Pip on his way. Pip always found beauty in the simple things, even in a chore.
Pip is so enthusiastic. Finn wonders how Pip does it. Finn would much rather take a nap.
Deeper and deeper into the forest Pip went, the sounds of the cottage fading behind him. The trees grew taller here, their branches weaving a thick canopy overhead, letting only slivers of sunlight through. The air grew cooler, carrying the damp, earthy smell of moss and ancient wood. Pip found a sturdy fallen log and began to chop, his movements strong and steady. Each swing of the axe echoed through the quiet woods. He paused to catch his breath, wiping a bead of sweat from his brow, feeling a little rumble in his tummy. Pip noticed a strange hush fall over the forest.
Pip thinks this log is quite stubborn, but Pip will conquer it. Pip is getting a bit hungry, though. Pip hopes Finn and Gus are having a nice day back home.
Just then, from behind a thick, gnarled oak tree, a tiny gray man, no bigger than Pip's thumb, appeared. The little man looked tired and very, very hungry. His clothes were patched and worn, and his eyes, though bright, held a hint of sadness. Pip gasped softly, not out of fear, but surprise. The little man's voice was soft, like rustling leaves.
Stella is very hungry, Pip. Stella has been wandering for many sunrises and sunsets. Does Pip have anything to spare for Stella?
Oh, of course, Stella. Pip only has this simple bread and water, but Pip would be delighted to share it with Stella. Pip can't imagine being so hungry.
Pip immediately sat down on the mossy ground, carefully breaking his small loaf of bread in half. He offered the larger piece to the tiny gray man, Stella, and poured some of his precious water into a small cupped leaf for Stella to drink. Stella's eyes widened with gratitude, and Stella accepted the offerings with trembling hands. The little man ate slowly, savoring every crumb, and Pip watched, feeling a warmth spread through Pip's chest. The simple act of sharing made Pip's own meal taste even better. A gentle breeze rustled the leaves above them.
Oh, Pip, Stella has never tasted anything so wonderful. Pip's kindness warms Stella's very soul. Stella thanks Pip deeply. Stella will never forget Pip's generosity.
Pip is just happy to help Stella. Pip believes everyone should share what they have. Pip always has enough when Pip shares, Pip thinks.
Stella finished eating, a renewed sparkle in Stella's eyes. Stella stood up, no longer looking quite so weary. Stella pointed a tiny, gnarled finger towards a cluster of ancient trees deeper in the forest, their branches intertwined like old friends. The air around Stella shimmered faintly, a subtle magic now evident. Pip felt a tingle of wonder. The forest floor beneath Pip's feet felt softer, as if it was whispering secrets.
Pip, Stella sees a path for Pip. Follow the shimmering moss, and Pip will find what Pip needs. It is hidden, but Pip's heart will guide Pip.
A path? Pip wonders what Stella means. Pip will try to find it, Stella. Thank you, Stella.
Pip watched as Stella, with a final knowing nod, simply vanished into the dappled light, leaving behind only the faint scent of pine and magic. Pip blinked, wondering if Pip had dreamed the encounter, but the half-eaten bread in Pip's hand and the feeling of warmth in Pip's heart told Pip it was real. Pip stood up, his gaze drawn to the ancient trees Stella had pointed towards. A faint, almost imperceptible shimmer seemed to cling to the moss on the ground in that direction, just as Stella had described. Pip felt a pull of curiosity deep inside Pip's chest. The forest whispered its secrets to Pip.
Stella said what Pip needs. Pip wonders what Pip needs. Is it more firewood or something else entirely? Pip must go see.
Pip followed the shimmering moss, his eyes scanning the ancient bark of the trees. Soon, Pip spotted it, a small, almost invisible opening in the trunk of a particularly old, hollowed-out oak. The bark was covered in twisting vines, making the entrance seem like a secret door. The inside of the tree glowed with a soft, warm light, beckoning Pip closer. Pip carefully peered inside, his breath catching in his throat. The smell of earthy magic and something sweet like honey filled the air.
Oh my! Pip has never seen anything like this. What could be inside this magical tree? Pip must look closer.
And there, nestled on a bed of soft moss, was a goose. But not just any goose. Its feathers shimmered and gleamed like pure molten gold, catching every tiny ray of light. Its eyes were like polished amber, full of gentle wisdom. It was the most magnificent creature Pip had ever seen. Pip reached out a cautious hand, unable to believe Pip's eyes. The golden goose sat perfectly still, its golden feathers radiating a gentle warmth. Pip slowly reached out a hand, and the goose softly nuzzled Pip's fingers with its beak. It felt surprisingly soft, like silk, yet undeniably solid and magnificent. Pip knew immediately that this was something truly special, a gift from Stella and from the forest itself. Pip gently scooped up the goose, amazed by its weight. It was surprisingly light for such a splendid creature, almost as if it floated in Pip's arms. The golden glow lit up Pip's face with wonder.
Oh, you beautiful goose! Pip has never seen anything so lovely. Pip wonders where Pip should take Pip's new friend. Pip can't leave the golden goose here all alone.
Pip decided to take the golden goose to the nearest village. Perhaps someone there would know what to do with such a wondrous bird, or at least Pip could show Finn and Gus what Pip had found. With the golden goose tucked carefully under Pip's arm, Pip began the journey out of the forest, heading towards the faint sounds of distant chatter and clanging bells from the village. The golden light from the goose illuminated the path before Pip, making the shadows dance. The forest seemed to hum a farewell tune.
This golden goose is truly amazing. Pip hopes Pip can keep the golden goose safe. Pip thinks Pip should go to the cozy inn first. Pip heard the innkeeper makes the best apple tarts.
As Pip walked, the golden goose blinked its amber eyes, seeming to understand Pip's thoughts. The sun began to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. The adventure was just beginning for Pip and Pip's golden friend. The path out of the forest led Pip onto a dusty road that wound its way towards the bustling village. The sounds grew clearer now, the distant clatter of hooves, the cheerful shouts of children playing, and the inviting smell of freshly baked bread. Pip held the golden goose close, its radiant feathers attracting curious glances from the few travelers Pip encountered on the road. Pip just smiled and kept walking, feeling a mix of excitement and a little bit of nervousness. The air grew warmer as Pip left the cool shade of the forest behind, replaced by the scent of wood smoke and frying onions from the village. Pip's tummy rumbled again, thinking about those apple tarts.
Pip thinks the village looks very lively, and Pip can almost smell the innkeeper's famous stew. Pip is sure the golden goose will like the village too.
Soon, the first buildings of the village came into view, quaint cottages with thatched roofs, a blacksmith's forge puffing smoke, and finally, the welcoming sign of the Golden Mug Inn. It was a cozy-looking place, with bright window boxes overflowing with flowers, and a warm glow emanating from its windows. Pip pushed open the heavy wooden door, a little bell tinkling merrily above Pip's head. The sounds of laughter and friendly chatter filled the air, making Pip feel immediately at home. Pip felt the golden goose stir slightly under Pip's arm.
This inn looks perfect. Pip hopes the innkeeper isn't too busy. Pip has a very important friend to introduce.
The innkeeper, a robust man with a kind smile and a flour-dusted apron, looked up from wiping the counter, his eyes widening at the sight of Pip and the extraordinary goose. The aroma of roasted chicken and fresh bread was intoxicating, and Pip knew this was the right place to rest for a while. The innkeeper immediately bustled over, his eyes wide with amazement at the sight of the gleaming golden goose. He had never seen such a magnificent creature in all his days running the Golden Mug Inn. His 3 daughters, Lily, Daisy, and Rose, who were helping clear tables, paused their work, their heads tilting curiously at the new arrival. The inn was bustling, filled with the aroma of hot food and cheerful conversations. But for a moment, all eyes were on Pip and his remarkable companion. A fiddler in the corner stopped playing a jig mid-note, his bow hanging in the air.
Well, good heavens, Innkeeper has never seen such a goose. Welcome, young Pip. What brings Pip and Pip's golden friend to Innkeeper's humble establishment?
Hello, Innkeeper. Pip found this golden goose in the forest, and Pip wanted to make sure the golden goose was safe. Pip hopes Pip isn't too much trouble for the innkeeper.
The innkeeper chuckled warmly. He led Pip to a quiet corner, placing a steaming bowl of stew and a slice of apple tart before Pip. The three daughters, however, couldn't tear their eyes away from the golden goose. Lily, the boldest of the three, nudged her sisters, her eyes sparkling with mischief. The golden glow from the goose seemed to draw them closer, like moths to a flame. They whispered excitedly among themselves, their giggles like tiny bells.
Lily thinks Lily has never seen anything so shiny. Lily wonders if the feathers are really gold, Daisy and Rose.
Daisy thinks Lily should be careful, Lily. But Daisy is very curious about the golden goose, too. Daisy has never seen a goose quite so grand.
While Pip happily ate his delicious stew, the three daughters, Lily, Daisy, and Rose, slowly crept closer to the golden goose. The goose sat patiently by Pip's side, occasionally blinking its amber eyes. Its feathers truly did look like pure gold, catching the light from the flickering hearth and making the whole corner sparkle. Lily, unable to resist the temptation, bravely reached out a hand. Her fingers trembled just a little as she prepared to pluck one of those shimmering feathers. A hush fell over the small group of onlookers, the only sound the crackling fire. The air felt thick with anticipation, and a sweet metallic scent seemed to emanate from the goose.
Just one tiny feather, Lily thinks. Daisy and Rose. No one will even notice. Lily just wants to feel it.
The moment Lily's fingers touched a golden feather, a strange thing happened. She couldn't pull her hand away. It was as if she were stuck fast to the goose, unable to move a single muscle, her hand glued firmly to its side. Her eyes widened in alarm, and she let out a small, surprised yelp. Pip looked up from his stew, a spoonful halfway to Pip's mouth, wondering what the sudden noise was. The golden goose merely blinked, completely unfazed.
Oh dear, Lily is stuck. Lily can't move Lily's hand. Daisy, Rose, help Lily, please.
Lily! What has Lily done? Daisy will help Lily. Daisy is coming, Lily.
Daisy, seeing her sister's distress, rushed forward without a moment's hesitation, intending to pull Lily free. The innkeeper, hearing Lily's yelp, began to look over from the bar, his brow furrowed with concern. Daisy grabbed Lily's arm, pulling with all her might, but it was no use. Instead of freeing Lily, Daisy found herself stuck just as firmly. Her hand, now pressed against Lily's back, wouldn't budge. Daisy let out a gasp of surprise, her eyes wide with disbelief. Now there were two girls stuck to the golden goose, forming a comical chain. The other villagers in the inn had stopped their conversations, watching the bizarre scene unfold with growing amusement and confusion. The sound of the innkeeper's tray clattering to the floor echoed through the suddenly quiet room. A faint, sweet scent of metal lingered in the air.
Daisy is stuck too, Lily. Daisy can't believe this. Rose, please, Rose must help Daisy and Lily. This is very strange.
Oh my goodness, Lily and Daisy. Rose is coming. Rose will get Lily and Daisy unstuck. Rose is very strong.
Rose, the youngest and most determined, bravely rushed forward. She grabbed Daisy's hand, thinking surely her strength would break the mysterious hold. But alas, the moment Rose's fingers touched Daisy's, she too became stuck. Now there were three girls, all in a neat line, trailing behind the unconcerned golden goose. The innkeeper finally reached them, his face a mixture of bewilderment and alarm. He stared at his three stuck daughters, his mouth agape. Pip watched, fork still in hand, not quite sure what to make of the situation.
My daughters, Lily, Daisy, Rose, what has happened to Innkeeper's girls? Innkeeper needs to help them.
Pip doesn't know, Innkeeper. Pip has never seen the Golden Goose do anything like this before. Pip is so sorry.
Just then, the door to the inn swung open, and the busy baker entered, carrying a basket full of warm, crusty loaves. He was a man always in a hurry, with flour dusting his eyebrows and a perpetually worried expression. He stopped short, his eyes immediately drawn to the peculiar sight of the innkeeper's 3 daughters stuck to a golden goose. The aroma of his freshly baked bread mingled with the strange metallic scent from the goose. He blinked, rubbing his eyes, thinking he must be seeing things after a long day of baking. The villagers chuckled nervously, watching the scene unfold.
Busy Baker can't believe Busy Baker's eyes. What in the name of yeast is going on here? Those poor girls. Busy Baker must help.
The busy baker, ever the helper, set his basket down with a thud and hurried over. He grabbed Rose's hand, intending to pull her free, but the moment his fingers made contact, he too was stuck. Now a line of 4 people, stretching from the Golden Goose, stood frozen in place, their faces a comical mix of surprise and utter confusion. The innkeeper wrung his hands, not knowing what to do, while Pip just stared, wide-eyed. The air seemed to crackle with an unseen force. The small inn had never seen such a peculiar sight.
Busy Baker is stuck. Busy Baker's hands are stuck to Rose. Busy Baker has never been so stuck in Busy Baker's life. This is terrible for Busy Baker's baking schedule.
Oh no, Busy Baker. Rose is so sorry. Rose wishes Rose could help Busy Baker, but Rose is stuck too.
The commotion in the inn attracted even more attention. The friendly farmer, a jovial man with a big laugh and a straw hat, poked his head through the doorway. He took in the sight of the growing chain of people stuck to the Golden Goose, and his booming laugh filled the inn. He thought it was the funniest thing he had ever seen. He strode in, wanting to get a closer look, his eyes twinkling with amusement. The scent of hay and fresh earth followed him inside. The villagers whispered and pointed, some trying to stifle their own giggles. The Golden Goose merely ruffled its feathers, seemingly oblivious to the chaos it caused.
Ha 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 ha! Friendly Farmer thinks that is quite a sight. What a silly game the busy baker and the girls are playing. Friendly Farmer must join in the fun.
Still chuckling, the friendly farmer reached out and clapped the busy baker on the shoulder. Instantly, his hand became stuck. The laughter died on his lips, replaced by a look of utter astonishment. The chain now had 5 people. Just then, the pompous mayor, a stern man with a magnificent mustache, marched into the inn. He saw the strange procession and puffed out his chest, determined to bring order. He demanded an explanation, his voice booming. The innkeeper tried to explain, but words failed him.
What is the meaning of this disorderly conduct? The mayor demands to know. Someone must explain this strange situation to the mayor at once.
The mayor, in his attempt to scold the friendly farmer, placed a hand firmly on the farmer's back. And just like that, the mayor too was stuck. A long, comical line of 6 people now stretched behind Pip and his gleaming golden goose. The inn was filled with gasps, whispers, and a few uncontrollable snorts of laughter. Pip decided it was time to leave. The air now hummed with a tangible, light-hearted magic. Pip, feeling a little overwhelmed by the growing crowd and the strange predicament, decided it was best to continue on Pip's journey. With the golden goose still tucked under Pip's arm, Pip gently stepped towards the inn's door. To everyone's astonishment, the entire line of stuck people, Lily, Daisy, Rose, the busy baker, the friendly farmer, and the mayor, followed right behind Pip. They shuffled and stumbled, trying to keep their balance, still firmly attached to each other and to the goose. The bell above the door jingled as Pip walked out, pulling the bewildered procession behind Pip. The evening air felt cool and crisp after the stuffy inn. The villagers inside pressed against the windows, watching the strange sight depart.
Lily can't believe Lily is moving. Lily is still stuck, but at least Lily isn't stuck inside the inn anymore. Where are we going, Pip?
This is preposterous. The mayor demands to be released at once. The mayor has important mayoral duties to attend to. This is not how the mayor conducts the mayor's business.
Busy baker's bread will burn. Busy baker must get back to the bakery. This is a disaster for busy baker's evening sales.
Pip, hearing their complaints, turned to them with a kind smile. Pip wished Pip knew how to free them, but Pip truly didn't. The Golden Goose just continued to glow with its gentle, magical light. The procession looked like a very peculiar parade, making its way down the village street under the soft glow of the twilight. The cobblestones beneath their feet clattered with each step, creating a strange rhythm. The air smelled of damp earth and distant cooking fires.
Pip is so sorry, everyone. Pip truly doesn't know how to unstick everyone. Pip just thought Pip and the Golden Goose should go for a little walk. Perhaps a change of scenery will help?
And so Pip and his extraordinary procession continued their journey. The sun had fully set, and the stars began to twinkle in the dark sky, casting a silvery glow over the landscape. The line of stuck villagers grumbled and sighed, but they had no choice but to follow wherever Pip and the Golden Goose led. They wobbled and swayed, a comical train of bewildered adults and curious children, all linked by an invisible, magical bond. The sound of their shuffling feet and their varied complaints filled the quiet night air. The path grew narrower as they left the village behind, heading towards the open countryside. The air was cool and smelled of fresh-cut grass and dew.
Well, Friendly Farmer supposes Friendly Farmer's getting some exercise at least. Friendly Farmer hopes Friendly Farmer's turnips are okay back in the field.
This is ridiculous. Gus can't believe Gus is still stuck. Gus blames Pip for this. Pip always causes the strangest things to happen.
Wait, what? Gus? Pip turned to see Finn and Gus, their faces red with exertion, now also stuck at the very end of the line. They must have followed Pip out of curiosity and gotten caught up. Pip couldn't help but feel a little bit amused, despite the situation. The line stretched even longer now, a truly magnificent and absurd sight under the moonlight. The faint golden shimmer from the goose seemed to ripple down the entire line, connecting them all with its magic. Pip felt a tiny, hopeful flutter in Pip's chest.
Finn only came to see what all the fuss was about, and now Finn is stuck too. Finn will never boast about Finn's strength again if Finn can just get unstuck.
Finn, Gus, Pip is so surprised to see Finn and Gus here. Pip wishes Pip knew how to help Finn and Gus.
The long, peculiar procession continued its journey through the night. Pip, with the Golden Goose under his arm, led the way, his heart filled with a mix of wonder and a little bit of worry for his stuck companions, including his brothers Finn and Gus. The line of people, shuffling and grumbling, stretched far behind Pip, a truly comical sight under the soft moonlight. The air grew cooler, carrying the scent of distant flowers and the faint sound of a river. They were heading towards a new horizon, towards the shimmering lights of a grand kingdom that appeared on the distant skyline, its tall spires gleaming. Pip felt a sense of destiny stirring within Pip's soul. The journey was winding and filled with unusual companions, all due to the Golden Goose.
The mayor thinks the mayor recognizes those lights. That is the royal kingdom of Athel. The mayor has important diplomatic relations there.
Oh dear, the innkeeper heard whispers that the princess of Athel is always so sad. Poor Luna. The king has tried everything to make Luna smile.
Pip listened, his interest piqued. A sad princess? Pip had never heard of such a thing. Pip remembered the innkeeper's words. The story of Princess Anya, or Luna, as the innkeeper called her, was a sad one. Despite all the riches and beauty of her kingdom, Princess Anya had never once laughed or even truly smiled. Her sorrow cast a quiet shadow over the entire royal court. Pip looked at the Golden Goose, wondering if even its magic could bring a smile to a princess's face. The faint, musical sound of bells drifted on the breeze from the kingdom.
Friendly Farmer heard the king offered a special reward to anyone who could make Princess Luna laugh. A very special reward indeed.
A special reward for making Princess Luna laugh? Pip wonders if the Golden Goose could help Princess Luna. Pip would just like Princess Luna to be happy.
The journey continued, and soon Pip and his peculiar entourage were approaching the magnificent gates of the Kingdom of Athel. The castle itself was a breathtaking sight, with towering walls of white stone, gleaming turrets, and banners fluttering proudly in the morning breeze. The sounds of activity within the kingdom grew louder, trumpets playing, vendors calling out their wares, and the general hum of a busy city. Pip felt a mix of awe and trepidation. The morning sun illuminated the entire golden procession, making it an undeniable spectacle. The Golden Goose seemed to glow even brighter as they neared the royal city. The innkeeper and the others were a mix of tired and hopeful.
This is the mayor's chance to speak with the king. The mayor must present this extraordinary situation to the king himself. The mayor will surely be rewarded for bringing such a spectacle.
Gus just wants to get unstuck. Gus doesn't care about rewards. Gus wants to sit down and eat a proper breakfast, not shuffle along like this.
Pip, hearing Gus's grumbling, just smiled. Pip's only thought was about the sad Princess Anya, or Luna. Pip wanted to make her smile, not for any reward, but simply because it seemed like the right thing to do. The guards at the kingdom gates, clad in shining armor, stared in utter disbelief as Pip and the long, wobbly line of people approached. They had never seen anything quite like it. The Golden Goose seemed to hum a soft, magical tune, adding to the surreal nature of the scene. The gates creaked open slowly, allowing the strange parade to enter. The air inside the kingdom walls smelled of rich perfumes and polished stone.
Finn hopes the king has a comfortable place for Finn to rest. Finn is exhausted from all this unexpected walking, Finn is.
As Pip and his long, comical chain entered the bustling streets of the Kingdom of Ethel, people stopped what they were doing and stared. Children pointed and giggled, while adults whispered and gasped. Never had such a strange procession paraded through the royal city. The guards at the gates were still wide-eyed, unsure whether to laugh or demand an explanation. The Golden Goose continued its gentle glow, leading the way. The sun climbed higher in the sky, casting bright light on the cobblestone streets. The sound of their collective shuffling and occasional grumbling echoed between the grand buildings. Pip felt a nervous flutter, but also a determined spirit.
Busy Baker is still stuck. Busy Baker's bakery is so far away. Busy Baker hopes the king understands the urgency of Busy Baker's situation.
Friendly Farmer just hopes Friendly Farmer doesn't step on anyone's toes. This is quite the close-knit group, Friendly Farmer thinks.
The procession made its way towards the grand castle, its spires reaching towards the blue sky. Up in one of the castle's highest towers, Princess Anya, or Luna, sat by her window, gazing out at the world with her usual melancholy expression. Her chambers were filled with beautiful tapestries and soft music, but none of it could lift her spirits. She often watched the people below, wishing she could feel their joy. The scent of blooming roses drifted into her room. Luna sighed, a soft, wistful sound.
Luna wishes Luna could find something to make Luna smile. Everything in the kingdom is so grand, but Luna still feels a quiet sadness. Luna wonders what the commotion is below.
Princess Anya, Luna, heard the growing clamor from the streets below. Her curiosity, a rare spark in her usually serene demeanor, led her to peek out her window. Her eyes, usually downcast, widened slightly as she scanned the bustling street. And then she saw it, a young boy, Pip, holding a goose that shone like a tiny sun. Behind him, a long, wobbly line of people shuffled along, stuck fast to one another, all following the golden bird. Luna blinked, then blinked again, wondering if Luna was dreaming. The sight was so utterly unexpected, so utterly absurd.
A faint smile touched Luna's lips, a movement so slight it was barely there. The light from the Golden Goose seemed to reach even Luna's high window, reflecting in Luna's eyes.
What in the world? Luna has never seen such a peculiar sight. A golden goose and a line of stuck people? Luna thinks Luna's eyes are playing tricks on Luna.
As she watched, the mayor stumbled slightly, almost tripping over his own feet, causing the entire line to wobble precariously. The busy baker let out a surprised squeak, and the friendly farmer's straw hat nearly flew off his head. Finn and Gus, at the very end, jostled each other, almost losing their balance. It was a perfectly choreographed, utterly ridiculous dance of people trying not to fall over. Luna's faint smile grew involuntary giggle. It was a sound that hadn't been heard in the castle for years. The castle walls seemed to hold their breath, waiting. A tiny, joyful sound escaped Luna's lips, like a bird taking flight.
Oh my, look at the mayor and the busy baker. Luna can't believe Luna is seeing this. It's so silly.
The small giggle from Princess Anya, Luna, quickly bubbled up into a hearty, joyous laugh. It was a sound that echoed through the quiet chambers of the castle, a sound so bright and unexpected that it made the very stones of the ancient building seem to hum with delight. Luna clapped her hands, her face alight with pure, unadulterated amusement, tears of joy streaming down her cheeks. She leaned out the window, laughing until her sides ached, completely captivated by the never-ending stream of comical mishaps from the stuck procession below. The sun shone down, making the Golden Goose gleam even brighter. The sound of Luna's laughter was like music to the ears of the entire kingdom, a symphony of happiness. The air around Luna felt light and bubbly, filled with the warmth of her newfound joy. It was a moment of pure magic, a long-awaited miracle.
Oh, Pip and the Golden Goose! Luna has never laughed so hard in Luna's entire life. It's the funniest thing Luna has ever seen.
The king, Luna's father, heard the unfamiliar sound from his study. He dropped his royal quill, his heart leaping with a joy he hadn't felt in years. Could it be? Could Luna finally be laughing? He rushed to the window, peering out just in time to see his beloved daughter, Luna, doubled over with mirth, pointing at the strange procession below. His eyes filled with happy tears as he recognized the sound of true happiness. The Golden Goose and its long human tail continued to parade through the town square, completely unaware of the profound impact it was having. The king's heart swelled with relief and gratitude. The scent of royal lilies filled the king's chambers, a fresh and hopeful aroma.
Luna, my dearest Luna. The king hears Luna laughing. It's a miracle. The king must meet the person who brought such joy to Luna's heart.
The king, overjoyed, immediately ordered his guards to bring Pip and the Golden Goose, along with their peculiar train, up to the royal chambers. The castle buzzed with excitement, a feeling that had been absent for far too long. Pip, still holding the Golden Goose, was ushered into the grand throne room, his peculiar procession shuffling along behind him. Princess Anya, Luna, her eyes still sparkling with the residue of laughter, looked at Pip with genuine warmth. The king, his face beaming, clapped Pip on the shoulder. He had never seen Luna so happy, and Pip, with his simple kindness and his magical goose, was the cause of it all. The throne room, usually filled with solemn silence, now echoed with the occasional happy sniffle from the king and a lingering giggle from Luna. Golden sunlight streamed through the tall stained glass windows, illuminating the scene. The air felt thick with joy and amazement.
Pip, young Pip. The king thanks Pip from the bottom of the king's heart. Pip has brought laughter back to Luna's life. The king promised a special reward, and the king will keep the king's word. The king offers Pip the hand of Princess Luna in marriage.
Oh, the king! Pip is truly honored, but Pip is just a simple boy. Pip only wished for Princess Luna to be happy. Pip is so glad Princess Luna laughed.
Luna stepped forward, her smile gentle. She looked at Pip, not as a simple boy, but as the kind soul who had brought true joy back to her world. The sight of Pip and his incredible goose, and the long line of stuck people, was indeed a most wonderful and silly spectacle, and Luna knew Pip was a special person. Pip's face, usually calm, now showed a mixture of surprise and bashfulness. He glanced at Luna, feeling a warmth spread through Pip's chest. The golden goose gave a soft, reassuring cluck. Pip couldn't help but feel a little bit overwhelmed, but in a good way.
Pip, Luna thinks Pip is very kind. Luna would be honored to marry Pip. Luna has a good feeling about Pip and Pip's wonderful golden goose.
Pip, though surprised, felt a gentle happiness bloom in Pip's heart. Marrying a princess, it was far beyond anything Pip had ever imagined. Just then, a familiar shimmer caught Pip's eye. Stella, the tiny gray man, reappeared, sitting discreetly on a nearby velvet cushion, no one else seeming to notice Stella. Stella winked at Pip, a knowing twinkle in Stella's amber eyes. The air around Stella felt subtly charged with quiet magic. Pip knew Stella was there to guide Pip. The king, still beaming, explained that there were a few more traditions to uphold, a few fun challenges to complete before the marriage could take place. Pip listened carefully, ready for whatever came next.
Pip, Stella sees strength in Pip's heart. The challenges are not for Pip to overcome alone, but to share. Pip's true treasure is within Pip and in Pip's connections.
Stella, Pip is so happy to Stella. Pip will try Pip's best with the challenges, Stella. Pip will remember Stella's words. Pip always tries to share.
The challenges turned out to be less about strength or cleverness and more about kindness and cooperation. One challenge involved gathering the sweetest berries from the highest mountain peak, which Pip accomplished with the help of the friendly farmer, who suddenly found his hands unstuck just long enough to point out the best paths. Another challenge was to bring a smile to every child in the kingdom, which was easy for Pip and Luna, especially with the now unstuck Lily, Daisy, and Rose, helping to organize games and tell funny stories. The magic of the golden goose seemed to fade and reappear, helping the right person at the right time. Even Finn and Gus, still stuck, cheered Pip on, realizing Pip's goodness.
Go, Pip! Finn thinks Pip can do it. Finn is still stuck, but Finn is very proud of Pip.
With Luna's encouragement and the unexpected help of the newly unstuck villagers, Pip completed the challenges. Each task became a joyful adventure, demonstrating Pip's kind heart and resourcefulness. The king watched delighted as his daughter Luna finally glowed with happiness, her laughter echoing through the castle halls. The entire kingdom was filled with a festive atmosphere, bustling with preparations for the royal wedding. The golden goose, now a cherished guest, wandered freely, its golden feathers shimmering with contentment. The mysterious magic that had held the villagers stuck slowly began to dissipate, as if the purpose of their bond had been fulfilled. The air in the castle was vibrant with music and cheerful chatter.
The mayor is free. The mayor can move the mayor's arms and legs. The mayor declares this to be a truly magnificent day for the kingdom. The mayor will write a proclamation about it.
Busy Baker can finally get back to Busy Baker's bakery, but Busy Baker is glad Busy Baker was here to see this. Pip is a wonderful boy, and Luna is a lovely princess.
One by one, everyone who had been stuck to the golden goose suddenly found themselves free. They stretched and groaned, surprised but overjoyed. Finn and Gus, finally released, looked at Pip with a newfound respect. They even gave Pip a rare, genuine smile. The golden goose had brought them all together, and in doing so, had created a bond of shared, comical experience. The great hall smelled of fresh flowers and celebratory feasts. The king made sure everyone, especially the innkeeper and his daughters, was well compensated for their unexpected journey. Pip looked at Stella, who gave Pip one last knowing nod before disappearing once more, leaving a faint scent of starlight.
Gus can't believe Gus is unstuck. Gus thinks Pip is truly amazing. Gus is so happy for Pip and Princess Luna.
Pip is so glad everyone is free, and Pip is so happy Princess Luna is laughing.
The day of the wedding arrived, bright and glorious, mirroring the joy in Pip and Luna's hearts. The castle gardens bloomed with 1,000 colors, and the air was filled with music, laughter, and the sweet scent of lilies. Pip, no longer a simple woodcutter's boy, stood tall and proud in royal finery, but his kind heart remained unchanged. Luna, radiant in a gown woven with silver threads, looked at Pip with a love that had blossomed from a single joyful laugh. The Golden Goose, an honored guest, sat near the altar, its feathers gleaming softly, a silent witness to the happiness it had brought. The entire kingdom celebrated, and the sound of bells ringing filled the air. This was a day of true happiness and harmony, a testament to kindness. The sun shone down upon the happy couple.
The king has never been prouder. Pip is a fine young man, and Pip will make Luna an excellent husband. The king is so happy for Pip and Luna.
Luna is the happiest Luna has ever been. Pip brought sunshine back into Luna's world. Luna loves Pip very much.
Pip and Luna exchanged vows, their eyes filled with love and promises of a future filled with shared laughter and kindness. The entire kingdom rejoiced, knowing that their beloved princess had finally found her happiness, all thanks to a gentle boy and his extraordinary golden goose. Even Finn and Gus, along with the innkeeper, his daughters, the busy baker, the friendly farmer, and the mayor, were among the cheering guests, their earlier grumbles replaced with genuine smiles and heartfelt congratulations. The long, strange journey had led to a truly magical ending for everyone. Pip looked at Luna, his heart overflowing with gratitude. The castle glowed with festive lights as evening fell, a warm and welcoming beacon of joy.
Pip loves Luna too. Pip promises to always make Luna laugh and to always be kind. Pip is so happy Pip found the Golden Goose, and Pip is even happier Pip found Luna.
And so, Pip and Princess Anya, Luna, ruled the kingdom with kindness, joy, and endless laughter. The Golden Goose became a symbol of their happiness, a reminder that even the simplest act of generosity can lead to the most extraordinary adventures. Pip never forgot his humble beginnings, and Luna never forgot the quiet sadness that had been chased away by a golden shimmer and a funny, wobbly procession. Their kingdom was known far and wide as a place where smiles were abundant and where everyone was treated with respect and warmth. The castle grounds often echoed with the cheerful sounds of children playing and the gentle cackle of the Golden Goose, who lived a long and happy life alongside Pip and Luna. Every day was a new opportunity for joy and good deeds. The air was always filled with the sweet aroma of blooming flowers and the gentle rustle of leaves, a peaceful and contented feeling.
Pip, Luna is so glad Pip found Pip's way to Luna. Luna's heart is full of happiness because of Pip.
And Pip is so glad Pip shared Pip's brad with Stella Luna. Sometimes the smallest choices lead to the biggest adventures, Pip thinks. Pip is so happy to be with Luna.
And the kingdom always remembered the tale of the kind boy and his magnificent golden goose, a story that reminded everyone that a pure heart and a generous spirit are the greatest treasures of all. Now the stars are twinkling outside, just like the golden goose's feathers. It's time to close your eyes and drift off to dreamland, where your own kindness can lead to wonderful adventures. Good night, sleepyhead. And that is the end of our story. Thank you for listening to Go Readling Bedtime Stories. Visit goreadling.com for more stories, reading adventures, and fun learning for kids. Sweet dreams, little one. Good night.